core nutritionals.
Y'all know core nutritionals. You know that core fury, that ABC that I always keep on my couch, just in case.
So pretty.
So anyway, we got Ask the Boss, which is sent to Doug, but we decided to do it here.
Today it's Ask the Bosses.
Bosses, plural. This comes from Adam and Neth. What's your opinion on utilizing drop sets, failure sets, 20 plus rep sets? How would you still keep intensity high during a prep versus a bulk? Does lifting intensity or style change? Let's start with the first one, which is drop sets, advanced sets. What's our opinion on advanced training techniques like drop sets, failure sets, 20 rep sets?
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, next question.
Yep, good.
All right.
They're very good, dude. Anytime you can throw your body a new stimulus for overload, whether it's reps, weight, volume, hell, that's how you make gains.
Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly trying to challenge myself in the gym. So, like, if I'm, I do a lot of 20 rep set training. So if it's not 20 rep sets, it might be a superset, picking opposing body parts or the same body part. Drop sets, I usually do at least, one drop set on, per body part. Usually I'm doing multiple drop sets for different, different exercises for a body part. So I'm a big believer in that. I think it's just, like you said, an extra way to overload the muscle. So be creative in that. There's other techniques too. FST7, there's X reps, there's all this
so many different
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever's going to find a new way to challenge yourself, I say try it, throw it in there.
Absolutely.
I don't see anything wrong with it, of course, and if it's going to stimulate or hit some extra fibers in there, go for it.
So let's say, how would you keep intensity this high during a prep versus a bulk? Does lifting intensity or style change? Prep's so mental. Like, yeah. I'll tell you what, like, I was ready literally 12 weeks out for the Mr. Universe, and I can't do it because we're opening up Vegas location. And well, we can talk about that in another video. Basically, you got to prioritize things in life, and if something's going to completely wreck your life, your marriage, your kids, and everything around you, and prevent you from attaining your other goals in life,
yeah, well, you won't go half-ass at the prep, so you had to make that decision.
So here's the thing: when you're in prep, which I was just really shredded and all that stuff, right? Like, does lifting style change? My opinion is your training, you keep it as close to what got you the promised land to what's going to get you the promised land. If you train super hard, super heavy, and that's your stimulus, that's what got you all this muscle, and you suddenly stop, or I know it's going to be hard.
Your body's like, I don't need this.
But your body's like, dude, I'm dying, I'm hungry, I want to eat. You need to literally trick yourself, like convince yourself that you can do it. And I think a lot of people who drop off and try, I have people at 10% body fat in prep be like, my strength is going down. That's mental. Dude, you're too fat for your strength to be going down. 10%, that's when I hit the friggin' bulimia pill. You know what I mean? No, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I think people expect to get weaker during a cut. And yeah, okay, when you're under 6%, it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, you want to keep shit as consistent as possible with training. I like when people ask, what's the best training for cutting? What's the best training for dieting? And you're like, well, honestly, they should be the same in my opinion.
Yeah, training, the only thing that changes for me during contest prep and my clients is cardio and diet.
That's right? It.
The training is exactly the same. And so you will lose a little strength. I mean, I guess enhanced guys, if they're going into a show, can maybe even get stronger, towards the end. But I mean, when you're become extremely depleted towards the last, I'm talking like the last 4 or 5 weeks, and this is when you're getting ready ahead of time. But you should not be losing your strength completely. You will lose some. I think some of the, pressing usually drops off for me. But, my legs and my back usually generally stay just as strong. But like you said, it is mental. Like when I'm in a contest prep, and let's say I'm 8 weeks out, like daily functioning is hard outside of the gym. But I take a lot of stimulants and really get mentally prepared for the gym. Like, I'm going to do this and get it done. And that's the main difference between training. Like, I can just walk in there and crush a session now. Like if I was in contest prep, I would need to kind of get mentally prepared for it, and kind of have that time. Like, I know I'm going to be training during this time. Now we're in crazy growth season. It's like we train when we can. Yeah. But, I think mentally getting prepared is the biggest thing about contest prep.
Exactly.
So you really got to get up for things. And then, outside of training when I'm in prep, I'm half zombie. You know, I just really am, and let's just be honest with it. Like, if you feel great during contest prep, you're not
lean enough.
Not lean enough.
I think we're on the same page there, and that's the reason, if you notice, Doug's been training with me. I usually take about 20 to 30 minutes for movement prep and pillar prep. It's actually what I'm doing now. But what that helped me, and I'll tell you what, is we were talking today about the drive to the gym, and listening to Wu-Tang on the way kind of gets us in the zone to train, because we drove to a gym that was further away. But what I was doing is I was doing my warm-ups, my foam rolling, my pin rolling, all that. And after I was done with that, I'd literally take and it was kind of foam rolling, but not, and I just lay there on the foam roller with it across my lower back, which is where I have a lot of scar tissue, just from years of training. And I would just sit there and think of the session ahead and map it out. And literally, you remember that Saturday Night Live skit, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me? I'd literally say over and over in my head, you know, and I know this is violating your trademark, but I really would say this in my head. It's like, I'm going to crush this workout. I'm going to crush this workout. And you have to convince yourself you're going to do it. But the goal of training for a prep is not to change your training, because that's the stimulus your body needs to maintain that muscle that you gained training like that in the grow season.
Absolutely.
So I think we're on the same page there, guys. So basically, I think that answers your question. It's not a game.